Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. Welcome to tonight's weekly race, featuring the flags from the Duckling 202 class, 2 Loose. I am 8 the 13th, and joined in the booth tonight, excuse me, by Classic Gamer 76 on comms with, pardon me, with apparently a cough, with Sofnum doing tracking and Flower Power doing the restream. How you doing tonight, Classic Gamer?
I am doing quite well. It is almost Friday, and we've got some exciting weekly action tonight. So everyone's taking a thief, and I think when we look at those blur scenes, I can see why.
Not just the blur scenes, but the flag set too.
Yes, indeed. But the fighter has plus 10 MDef and plus 25 agility. That thief plus 10 luck already, and resists poison, earth, death, time, and status, so it's practically a ribbon, and we're off.
Yeah, and just as a quick note, one of the other reasons for taking a thief is the lockpicking is on at level 15, and holy crap, let's see what that magic. We've got Lightning 2, Temper, Poison, Saber at Black Magic level 1, and White Magic says Ruse, Heal 2, Harm 2, and Abu. So, yeah.
Yeah, that Ruse is white. It's locked. Heal 2 is going to be handy, and Saber will be learnable by the ninja. The black belts, which we aren't seeing, resists fire and status and hurt undead. The red mage stopped by the Corneria Bank on the way and picked up 800 GP and has also plus 2 level 1 MP. The white mage can equip the shield as plus 10 vitality, so a little more, able to take the hits than usual. And the black mage has plus 40 HP and resists time and fire. So we have Shanigan taking on Garland already, with Irby B also taking on Garland.
Yep, and it's a little bit surprising that they're fading the really early checks, just because there can be loose items in Toph, and this one is too loose. And to respond to the questions in the chat, specifically regarding Shanigan taking a 3-person party, it's done to increase the experience that is sent, to everyone else in the party, as well as to reduce menu time in battle. And yeah, it does go down to sometimes actually taking 2 people in the races. It's a real thing that happens.
Yep, and see we have some houses are not too bad. 1461 cabins are real cheap, and heal pot 17. That's nice.
Real cheap heal pots. That's real good to see. All right, looks like the Royals give us an adamant, and we've got a fairy that's been trapped in a bottle for 2,000 years. I hope the fairy gets released in Topher just to keep the cycle going.
That would be quite, why not keep the cycle going? She can wait for 2,000 years. Meanwhile, Shanigan taking on the pirates, making them eat some lightning, so we'll see what Vicky has for us shortly.
Vicky has a little boat for us tonight.
Not as big as the boat he normally has, but not as after you have that adamant, you could head over to dwarves and then for the Elfland, or you could, take the head on over to Crescent Lake and see what the sages have.
Yeah, the adamant does trend towards telling me to go towards dwarf, especially because I really don't like the river system this early.
I don't like the river system either, so I have to agree. I think I'd go to dwarves. So Invis 2 at level 2, and we have Nuke, Bane, and Slow 2 and Slow at level 2, so magic pretty loaded.
Level 2 Nuke.
So the runners will be happy to see that. A silver plus 5 sword, that's actually pretty good for a fighter early on and even mid-game.
Yeah, that silver sword needs be. That can go all the way to endgame.
Yes, it can.
It's not the best thing for endgame, but it can.
And Sheridan is actually going to take the river system route. And see, but for a second, if he was actually going to do the Daring Ice Cave play, but it looks like he's heading towards Crescent.
Yeah, no travel spells, no Ice Cave play this early. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, that's how I look at it too. But sometimes. Ooh, and Darkmoon gets the Dragon Sword +5 out of Mitoya and the cube.
It's cube in his closet.
Mitoya providing early, and RBB, yeah, I don't know, with the lack of travel magic, unless we missed. I'm not sure about this ice cave. I mean, with level 2 nuke though, you know. Oh, and level 2. Oh, no, that's level 3. I'm read there.
Yeah, no. Level 2 Invis 2, and Fabian actually taking advantage of the hint givers to discover, hey, yeah, Chime, you're gonna get that out of Lufane. And hey, Chanigan talking to the hint giver in Crescent Lake and finding out that he's missed a cube up in Mitoya's cave.
Meanwhile, some copper bracelets +4 for sale. That's pretty decent armor early on. Then we'll have something like 12 absorb. That's close to a vanilla silver bracelet. And RBB finding out one of the reasons why you don't like to do Ice Cave early is some things have nasty scripts. I didn't see what had the cremate. I just saw that got cremate casted on him.
Alright, we've got Fast at level 3, Fire 3 at level 3, and, you know, Confuse if you really want to have some desperate backup things for carry. We've got Cure 4 at level 6, and Fabian getting blocked by an NPC, because that's what NPCs do.
Yeah.
And goes there pointing out that it was the mages that were the pile of doom.
Fire 3 makes Ice Cave a little more doable, but I still don't know if I'd be taking that on quite yet. But Shanigan also doing that. He's cleaning out the Spectres and Geist with Lightning too. And we have a loot for sale in Elfland.
Alright, well then, that's pretty good right there.
For those who don't know, you need the loot to finish the game, unless you have a special flag set that, you know, moves the loot plate. But this flag set, we will need the loot to get into the deepest part of Topher.
Yep, and it looks like Darkmoon is decided to take the not ice play and head to Marsh instead. Which Marsh, it's at least a little more level appropriate. It still hurts, but it's not ice.
Yes, that is the biggest thing Marsh has going for it, is that it's not ice. It's also not Earth, I'll give it that as well, I guess.
Yeah, very true, very true. And coming off the heels of the spring tournament, or winter tournament, where it was 3 orbs, or 2 orbs, for most of it. This one is a standard requiring 4 orbs. Alright, we've got the herb from Smithy McBeardsmith. My brain just kind of clicked out on me there. And we've got the canal in Ice Cave. So Ice Cave, depending on where the floater is, may or may not even be needed.
Yep, I believe I saw Arbones with damage poison, which is bad in marsh or ice.
That's just bad, period. You're probably going to run into those in Earth Cave as well, and Stewed Undead.
And a fire on the Vanilla Eye tile and the canal in ice. So, yeah, if there's a floater available in the Inner Sea, ice is definitely not required. Meanwhile, Fabian picking up a crystal from the Elf Prince, so he's going to go to Mitoya and find his cube and pick up that dragon sword as well.
Whereas Darkmoon found the ship in Marsh. So, if we get a lucky floater in the Inner Sea, we might not actually have to have done either of the dungeons.
The worst thing about a seed where you don't have to do ice and marsh is you don't know it until you've done them.
Pretty much. So speaking of incentives, as I mentioned earlier, we've got 2 loose. So there's going to be 2 incentives just kind of floating in the wind, with the cube being one of them, so, you know, only one of them. But we also have the location placement for the incentive Haven Ordeal set to random, or the incentive chest in Ordeals. So apparently I've lost my ability to speak properly. So it's going to be any one of the 10 chests. Earth Cave is going to be any of the chests on Earth 4 because it's set to random post rod. And Sky Palace, well, anything beyond the cube, it's going to be one of those 34 chests.
And we did see Warp at level 6. That's actually Red Wizard learnable, which is nice for the, ordeals and ice. And they even picked up an ice +5 in Marsh. But the silver +5 was good. The ice +5 is definitely a weapon that can carry into the end game.
I have used worse weapons on the end game. Alright, it looks like Davian getting the ship right here, and the crystal turns into a power bomb. Alright, well, womp womp. So, Channing, doing the volcano dive, we're going to see what comes out of here because we do have the Inventive in Volcano turned on. It is the vanilla chest, so it's going to be all the way down on Carrie's floor, hiding behind the red D tile.
And this is interesting. They got experience out of the treasure chest. Maybe you can comment on that. And we have a French vanilla red D in the armory on the chest. Ooh, you sent it?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, we've got about, I think it's about 20% on this flag, and I've got to check the scaling. Yeah, 20% of the money chests are converted into the EXP chests with a range of between 4,000 and 7,000 EXP in them. So you might get lucky, open a box, and suddenly levels!
Yep, another thing that came out of the army was the Bane Sword, so if you want cheeky strats for Bracken or Tia1, you've got them right there, and we do have to get all 4 orbs, so we'll be fighting those fiends.
Or if you go real Mad Lad strats, you could, try and Bane Chaos with it.
256 at the time, it works every time. Ruby B also in Volcano heading down deeper. I didn't see if you checked out Armory, but Davian's now about to hit up Matoya and get his cube and Dragon Sword.
And yeah, Herbie did hit up the armory and did pull out the, Thavian!
Oh, no, Thavian! Oh, that's... Oh, well, according to the tracker, already has the cubes. Oh, he checked earlier. That's what happened, so... It's one of the nice things about Dragon +5 is a thief can use that pre-promotion.
Yeah, that would make sense if he'd already checked this stuff.
Yeah, shout out to our tracker Softnum, who is tracking 4 runners. That's not going to be easy.
Especially at the early game where they're all scattering to the 4 winds and finding different things themselves.
And the volcano has the crown.
Alright, that's good to find right there.
Still have the possibility if that crown leads to a floater, or we have something strange like a loose floater in Astos' closet, which the thief lockpicking, if the something ends up behind the chest, they could get it before they have the key.
Yeah, I personally kind of love the thief lockpicking, just because, hey, you don't have to find the key, and you can kind of sequence break things a little bit, maybe get lucky and find some good stuff early.
Yep. This Carrie is not playing around, just bodied Shanigan's Red Mage and hit the thief pretty hard, and now the thief is down in... But Toot shoots a nuke and Carrie is down.
Ah, this is fine. This is fine. Just throw microwaves. This'll work.
Only need one. When the one has nuke, that's even better.
Yep, you only need 1 hit point to survive on 1 character. He's fine. He's fine.
Ruby B either accidentally went over a Spike Town not knowing it was there, or deliberately took that red dragon fight for some experience. It's actually hard to say.
I think that one was probably an accidental one. Hi, Agama.
It's like saw Red D and wasn't going to turn down the experience, especially when you have Quad X and it erased it immediately.
And speaking of Agamas, apparently the wizard spike tile in Ice Cave, is that wizard? That might be the mage spike tile. The spike tile on the incentive floor that's not the I tile is the Agama.
That is a vanilla mage tile, and yet those Agamas are probably pretty cold, but still a nice place to find them, and Fabian finds them now, as Darkmoon has.
Alright, it looks like Chanigan finally stopping by Elfland, picking up fast in the lake, and gonna check out the rest of the spells here.
Yep. Irby B, meanwhile, heading down towards Carrie. We know she hits hard. He's about to find out. So, for characters, the experience growth is slower, but you have more to take punches.
Yeah, you've got more bladed meat shields. I am a fan of... Okay, and Florida is at ordeals. Alright, so you're gonna have to do both marsh and ice.
Yep. You need the ship, canoe, and canal, so... Of course, you know, Seeds where you have to do marsh and ice. Well, at least you know you didn't have... You could have avoided them, and... Down goes Irby B's Red Mage. And try cheeky 3 and 256 strats. Even with Expert, that only increases Bane's chances to 5 and 256.
Yeah, Carrie has real good MDef. Whereas Fabian and Darkmoon are going, you know, we could deal with the rest of this, or we could just keep killing lizards and get to some levels so we don't have to deal with it as much. And again, killing Astos, getting a ruby for his troubles. Gonna head on up, turn in that adamant and find out, crap, it's the herb.
Yep. Irby B does not have his knight equipped, so he's not getting good DPS at all, and this is where you reset her. There we go.
Yeah, much to his chagrin. That's kind of hurts to see. Looks like he is again though. Probably gonna hit the armory, can at least get stuff out of there. Maybe check some of the other tiles. Maybe he'll actually take that dragon a little bit.
Yep, he knows the dragon is there, and you know he has Quad Axe. He can easily kill them off pretty quickly and get some good experience that way. I mean, red dragons aren't the best drawing, but they are pretty decent, especially early on.
And they are actually pretty money heavy too, so. And Chanigan had decided to reset out of the herb turn-in and actually the adamant turn-in as well, and just noped on out of it.
Meanwhile, Irby he did find an eye, but not the right eye.
I saw it.
Definitely not the eye we're looking for. Meanwhile, Chanigan into March picking up the Wizard Staff, which actually with how nasty Carrie's being, of course, Chanigan's already gotten by her, but with how nasty Carrie's being, you know, Wizard Staff's actually looking a little useful.
And it looks like Irby B has opted to deal with Volcano later. I can understand the play. It kind of hurts to see just because that's time lost. But there is the ship for Chanigan, and he is going to try and warp out and go, I have no charges, I have to walk.
Yep, of course, you know, you can also lose a lot of time just trying to hit the dungeon over and over. So while, yeah, it hurts, it's the time loss, it's probably the right play in this situation.
Yeah, you really actually have to make sure your levels are appropriate before trying to take on Carrie, because Carrie does not play around.
No, she does not. She can be, especially Carrie 1 can be a real sleeper and really catch people off guard.
Looks like Kirby's swinging back by Elfland, picking up fast. And gonna check out the rest of the spells. I don't know if you pick up Harm 4 on his White Mage. A good plan, because, yeah, it's not as much damage as Fade, but it's damage.
Of course, it can be used to save Fade charges. Also picking up Brack, which, of course, won't help against Carrie unless he uses Exfer.
You know, it is a solution for Kraken and Tiamat, as long as you can play it. But Herbie picking up the loot. Chanigan making the herb turn in again, gonna get that crystal again, and go pick the power bonk up. You'll probably keep it just because a power bonk when you're running with a 3-man party, especially with the thief, is really useful to have. Whilst the ninja can learn Daber, it's better to have more than the forecasts of it.
Yes. And plus, if your ninja goes down, you need to use some emergency melee or something, you can stick it on someone else, or if you have a fighter or knight, they can use it.
Yeah, it makes a pretty good, backup melee out of almost anyone. And Chanigan, knowing that the floater is in Ordeals, is on his way there now.
All right, so let's place your bets. You think we'll have a first, second, third, or fourth pillar maze?
Well, we do have warp, but we don't have charges of it, so I'm thinking third.
I'm thinking third as well.
Alright. Herbie B getting the metal herb out of Smithy McBeardsmith there. Whoa, blue D spike tile.
That's also a pretty attractive one, is it? Well, Chanigan's not trying to use Quad X, so we don't know if it's Quad X-able. It has Mute Touch, though. That could be a little annoying, especially since it takes more than 1 or 2 nukes to take it down.
Yeah, it was a couple of mid-roll nukes, about 160 on both of them, 160, 180, and yeah, it's a little bit painful to see. Alright, Herbie picking up his crystal from the Prince.
Alrighty, Darkmoon is heading towards Carrie. He's going to find out how hard she hits.
And first chest that you find on floor 3, there's the floater.
And well, Saber +4 isn't bad, but we've got better weapons.
Yeah, could definitely be worse, but it's, well, potentially something.
Like with
actually, go ahead.
Like with Darkmoon doing with the Invis 2 against Carrie, fasting and then power bonking up the Knight because, she's probably been surprised by Carrie 2 enough times to know it be a bit of a problem sometimes.
And just to address the comment in chat saying you could have got that one on for 2, actually no, that one is not the linked chest. The linked chest in Ordeals is the bottom left chest in the group of 4. That first chest you come across is its own thing.
Yep, the linked chest was a Great Axe -3, actually. And Darkmoon takes down Carrie, lights his fire orb.
As Chanigan pulls up to the Ryokan Desert and is going sky. Getting skyborn, I should say. And heading immediately to pick up his party member.
I haven't seen how long it is off the hard reset for the first encounter, so the airship now, Desert Grinds, could be a thing if they are really looking for something. Though we have the red D, we have the blue D, we have the Agamas.
And on the question in chat regarding whether a random incentive chest can be a linked chest, yes, it can. That's one of the things that, if you're real lucky, the random incentive chest in Ordeals will be the linked chest on the 2nd floor, so then you can just grab that Nobon out of there without having to worry about the rest of the pillar maze.
Meanwhile, Sarda had the Axial and the, we'll see what the Titan is guarding here. And Survey says it's a slab. So that's actually pretty convenient, right near Melmond.
Yeah, I know, right? You've got the slab right near Melmond. You know that the chime is... Well, actually, I don't know if Chanigan knows that the chime is in Lefane, but... Well, he's got the bottle. He's going to have the slab translated. He's going to be really heavily pushed to go that direction.
Meanwhile, Darkmoon takes down Astos, gets his ruby. And the Masa from the ferry. You always like to see that.
Alright, the ferry doesn't get reset and put back in bottle. Ferry gets to stay out of the bottle and doesn't get trapped in the time loop. This is fine.
And interesting Actually, he's given the Masa to the fire. I thought he was going to originally give it to the red mage, but he gave the ice +5 to the red mage and the Masa to the fire, which is probably actually the better strategy. Checking out level 8, and oh, there's lock 2. But how many level 8 charges do you think they're going to get?
None. And honestly, when you've got lock 2, or when you've got nuke at level 2 and lock 2 at level 8, yeah, if you're going to be trying to toss a lock 2 out, just toss a nuke out instead.
Yeah, with this flex, it doesn't have the crazy, like, 255 max evade, where it's when lock and lock 2 become very valuable, even if they both roll level 8.
And Chanigan, taking the time to talk to the witch in Gaia, finds out that the key is somewhere in sea floor, or in the sea. I didn't see it was floor specifically. I just saw it was key and sea.
Well, I can rule out TFC, but I don't think I can rule anywhere else. Darkmoon has a Dragon Armor +5. That would be great after promotion, but I don't think we've seen or been given any hints about the tail yet.
Yeah, tail is still lost in the wind, but now that we know that the key is in Sea Shrine, that is the second loose. So that means that Chanigan isn't going to be probably checking many more treasure chests. He's got a Masa, which he can give to the ninja. He, could keep opening chests, but knowing Chanigan's habits, he probably won't. There's also
gets his
sword, which is incentivized, so it's going to be something I'll be looking forward to.
And let's see, is Chanigan gonna? I mean, he's not promoted. I don't think he really has any reason to check out the superstore, and he just leaves Lefane. Really, with the level of magic we have, we don't really need much of the, like level 7, level 8. I mean, here 4 level 6 and Orbit level 6 are probably on Rocket level 6 are the highest ones we want, and we don't need promotion for those.
Yeah, and correction, I misread it. Sky was where the key is, so that is just loose on Sky 3, that's fine. And then we got the hint that there was an item in the eastern forest of Cardia.
And Chanigan went into Bahamut for some reason, maybe thought he had the tail and realized he didn't.
I think he was checking to see if the dragon sword was on. Alright, it looks like the robot has the defense sword. And a roof stick out there. Nice. TNT, that's what it was.
Yep, TNT's incentive. Of course, the Ruse Staff is also very nice. Basically, there's your free Ruse cast, and Ruse was white locked.
Yeah, you've got a Masa, you've got a Power Bonk, you've got a Ruse Stick, you've got endgame weapons and defense. A ribbon would be real pretty to find, but that's about it.
In level 5, Black had Ice 3, Zap, and Lightning 3. Lightning 3 being promo locked.
Level 2 nuke. Yeah, you're probably not going to be casting those level 5 spells. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to pick up 1 or 2 of them just to be on the safe side, but level
Ice
2
3
nuke.
I think is worth picking up because it actually can do a little more damage than nuke, and again, you can save those nuke charges for in a pinch because nuke works well against everything. Ice 3 works well against many things.
And Chanigan is still checking the shops because he did not check out the item shop in Elfland, so not know that the loot is there.
And Darkmoon picking up his Axio from Sarda.
As Herbie picked up his big pokey stick from the ferry.
We will see what's in the waterfall here pretty shortly. Hi, Out of Bounds Bat. Vocal -2, that's a womp womp. Defense sword's nice, there's the other Ruse cast, but good thing we found that Masa because that Vorpal didn't roll too well. Haven't seen any katanas yet. Or I don't believe we've seen the X-Cal either, not that anyone can use it yet, because we still have not seen that tail.
At this point, tail is probably going to be an Earth Cave. This is just me wildly guessing, though, so, your mileage may vary.
Yeah, look at Shannigan, he's got everything except the key, which we know is in Sky, the loot, which we know is for sale, the chime, which we know is in Elfland, and the tail, so... A process of elimination, yeah, tail's got to be an Earth Cave.
And I just realized, no, Chainin does have the chime. He did make that walk down to Lefane. I just forgot to click that earlier because I'm helping soften them out with some of the tracking a little bit at least.
Okay, well, process of elimination still puts that tail in Earth Cave, so...
Yeah, and we got life at level 5 white.
Yep, that's always good to see. Of course, I believe in this flag set we have both, at least life in battle, if not both life and life too.
Yep, we've got soft, life, and life 2 available in battle. We'll see if anybody actually remembers and makes use of it. That's a flag which, whilst it's on a lot of the time, not a lot of people actually remember it. Myself included, I'm not gonna lie.
As it was good to have it, of course, it's sometimes you got to remember, sometimes you need to concentrate on your offense and let sleepy mages lie.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, look, my black mage fell over. Oh, darn. He cast fast already? This is fine. He can stay down.
I mean, might be good for bringing a meat shield up, but sometimes you just gotta go with the offense. And Flower Power Restreamer in chat says, hey, don't knock the Vorpal. It's perfect for throwing out the window in Sky. I am a pro Vorpal person, but I think in this set, that might actually be a good use for it. And, maybe it'll land on some nice blue steak and slice it up for supper.
Delicious, delicious blue steak.
Alright, Dark Moon now about to check out Lich's closet. I guess missed the Earth Armory, but I don't see the tail in his inventory yet, and the fact that he's checking Earth closet probably implies he wants it.
Yeah, Earth Armory was the best thing in there was a setable armor, which I believe he's already... Ooh, alright, well, there's the incentive ribbon.
Yep.
Alright, well, I was wrong.
So, a tail out there somewhere. Was that actually loose? Because I believe that's the Cardia incentive chest.
Cardia incentive is not on, so that TNT was loose.
Yeah, it just happened to land in a chest that's sometimes incentive.
Yeah, it landed in the chest that is actually one below the normal incentive chest, which in the vanilla game was nothing. So yeah, that's something we just put in, or that the devs put in, just to have some other incentive locations.
Yeah, shout out to the devs. They have done so much with this game. Ages +5 for Shannigan. That's a really nice find. And some zombie Ds. Not bad experience, but he's going to say no thanks. Like Irby B's going down for the rematch against Carrie.
Much higher level this time. Much more ready to, pile pain on her.
And withstand the pain she piles on him. So a +5 shield that Shannigan just picked up would not be bad for a ninja, should he find that tail.
And actually, now that I'm realizing it, given that we got the ribbon out of Earth, the only thing we haven't seen right now is the TNT turn-in. So that's going to be the tail. So we get a loose TNT in Cardia, leading to a tail. Bravo, Bahamut. Bravo.
Well played there, Dragons. Over several times during Winter Tournament, we saw the famous Lazy Dragons where it's the tail's right behind Bahamut. Of course, then he'll challenge you. Would you actually look here?
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. You're so brave. You opened the chest behind me. Alright, get out of my place.
Of course, this wasn't on during Spring Tournament, but that would be really funny with they'll fight Bahamut and buff Bahamut on. Meanwhile, Fabian's taking on Krakon. His fighter is flat on his face.
And he's got that Masa-wielding thief who got fasted, who's, using the defense sword and getting some invis too from that white well. Meanwhile, we've also got Jen again, facing off against that same Kraken.
Yep, also casting fast in the Viz 2, now tempering up the thief. And Kraken says, goodbye, Red Mage.
You don't have a white mage. Well, you've got a red mage. That'll have to suffice.
Yeah. I think that might cast life. So, Red's through the Thief's evade, but Thief says, oh yeah, take this, and then slices the Kraken into sushi.
Yeah, 6 hits for 977 damage. Good night, crazy.
Meanwhile, Irby B still taking on Kraken. 7 hit 684, and that Kraken is still standing, so... Kraken doesn't have much left, though.
Yeah, Kraken's gonna be looking real thin right now. 143 out of that nuke, not quite enough to drop it. Swing! 8 hits, 478. Well, Calamari!
Yep, Irby B now heading towards Earth, as is Shenanigan. Now, Fabian gets the good old lobsters after Kraken treatment.
Oh, I hate that so hard.
Yeah. Why you always heal up. Only good place for a lobster's on my dinner plate.
Pretty much. Alright, Dark Moon finally having hit up ordeals, got the floater, and is now in the air. And looks like it's heading on down to turn in that volley he's already picked up. And probably gonna go turn in the slab as well to get that chime.
Yep, so he's gonna be pretty happy to see that Masa. So we have both Shenanigan and Irby B on Earth 3. Shenanigan still looking for some of these chests here.
I'm kind of surprised, honestly. He must be looking for a katana or for another ribbon, or a ribbon, because he hasn't picked up the incentive ribbon yet. We'll be picking it up here real soon, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he has the Masa, so he, although melee-wise I would feel pretty comfortable because you generally aren't going to use a red mage or red wizard for melee if you can avoid it, even with the Masa.
Yeah, you're using a red mage for melee, something has gone wrong.
I mean, it'll work, but yeah, it's kind of an emergency strategy type thing.
Alright, and Dark Moon grabbing his chime. Fabian looks like he is going down to loot out the mermaids. Which, I'm not sure if he doesn't remember that it's not incentivized, or maybe he's just looking for some additional loot. But this is a little bit out of the way.
Yeah. Well, he did find a Sun +1 sword, although I don't know if that's as good as the Ice +5. Normally that's a very nice find, but I'm not. I think he already has better stuff. Of course, he also has the Masa.
Ice +5, I think, is better. I'm not 100% sure on that. Please check with your spreadsheet to verify.
Pretty sure if you're taking on something undead, the Sun Sword will be better. So if you want to kill Lich all the faster and you don't feel like fasting cake. And Fabian does carbonate bubbles.
Yes, thank you very much, Fabian. The Bubble Soda Company appreciates your efforts. So that's the best reason to come back in for mermaids, even if it's not incentivized to, carbonate bubbles.
Yes, but really isn't anything in mermaids, and Fabian just resets out.
I don't hate the play for resetting out.
Yep. I don't either. I mean, because you never know, sometimes you can find a ribbon or a katana +5. I mean, I've seen Bubbles hide a bunch of stuff in her, little room in particular. Speaking of ribbons, Irby B picks up his, and Shanigan was. Did you see something on Shanigan's screen? There's like this purple flash.
I thought I saw something. I don't know if I did or not. I also didn't notice if Jenny picked up that ribbon because I was watching other screen.
Yeah, Shanigan did pick up the ribbon.
Alright, Shanigan, gonna go turn that tail in. Probably be a little bit confused, like, wait, where's my loot? Because he still hasn't seen the shop item yet.
Yep, he's probably going to be going like, okay, which shop did I skip? That's always fun. He doesn't have the key, but with the flop picking, he doesn't need it.
He did see some flame armor, though, and he's making room for that. I like that play. White shirt, didn't notice that before. That's good to find.
Oh yes, free Invis 2 is always good. I'll turn that down.
And just some pocket change in the Dwarven Closet today.
Irby B is now going to roll over a speed bump. Meanwhile, Fabian's about to roll over the smaller speed bump.
The proto speed bump, the pothole, as you will. Shanigan ducked into Elfland Castle and looted the place. Didn't check the shop yet.
And just like that, Lich is down for Irby B, lighting his second orb.
And there was much rejoicing. Hooray! Yes.
And those who had the sharp vision to actually catch the Lich fight really rejoiced.
Shanigan looting out Grenaria treasury going, where is my loot?
Yeah, he's actually heading the wrong way right now. He's heading away from it.
I think he's probably heading on up to Sky. Oh, nope, he's gonna go loot out the rest of Cardia.
So he's probably thinking the loot is loose at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Especially given that he's doing the save in the air, check the stuff, reset when it's garbage. Which, you know, it's the smart way to go about it.
Yep, and he's checking the last Cardia Island that has treasure. And nothing, unless you like free harm 2s.
Which, you know, Shanigan doesn't have a white mage, so he really doesn't. But he is going to go get all grown up now, so he can at least wear that fancy flame armor +4 that he found.
Yep, meanwhile, Fabian has picked up his ribbon, incentive ribbon. Going to roll over Lich, and Dark Moon is approaching Kraken.
Shanigan's all grown up now.
Which means he can use that Dragon +5 armor, and should he come across an Excalibur Katana, he can use it. We could use that Vorpal if he really wanted to.
No, he can't use the Excalibur, that dragon armor, because no fighters.
Oh, whoops. If he had a fighter, he could do that.
Shanigan is a big fan of reduced person parties, just because it does offer speed, and it, you know, the quicker levels as well, and, you know, the less inputs.
And there's something to be said for fewer inputs. I have seen races come down to Chaos be decided by the fewer inputs.
Yeah, I've seen races that have finished within, you know, 0.6 seconds of each other, which, boy, let me tell you what that sucked to try and figure out what the actual time difference was.
Yep, Fabian rolls by Lich, gets some arachnids, but fortunately this isn't, you know, nuke or blaze arachnids as we've sometimes seen in the past, and manages to get out of Earth.
Oh, or we'll also have lightning too on the spike tile before the cube. Fun.
Alright, Metal Slime's nice. You know, full party grind, and 2 fire 3s looks like you're going to take him down.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to be able to melt the metals. And Dark Moon also pulling right on in to Sky behind Shanigan. Though he, I think he might be missing a couple of things.
Yeah, according to the Tractor, he is missing a couple of things, but he might just want to get Sky out of the way and then look for them.
Also, could be that I, missed missed Darkwing too. So, it happened.
Yep, I mean, if Gershark's on the tiles in Toph, and nothing much in the upper box, and David resets all the way back out to Earth, so... And again, if Earth was near where he would go next, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, I think that was where he'd saved before he went to go check those chests. Meanwhile, we've got Chanigan on the Bridge of Destiny. Are we going to see a robot check in? Are we going to McDonald's? No, we are not.
At least not with Shanigan. Not seeing any cheeky bait and Braxtrats out of Shanigan. He's just going straight with fast and temper on that ninja.
Makes sense. You've got it. Just plant it. 568 damage out of that one. Damn it, Squirtin' Ink and Fear. Braxtrats!
Yeah, of course, say that. Round 2 he goes with Brax. So basically, the mages did what I love to call the fast Braxtrat. You cast fast, and you cast Brack. And Tia is down for Shanigan. That's
and
all
we've got
4
Dark
orbs.
Moon. Yeah, and we got Dark Moon on the Bridge of Destiny. I think he went in off hard reset, though, so he's probably going to be a real similar encounter table to Shanigan, so we're probably not going to see Mech.
Probably not.
And Shanigan going to go check all of the shops again, I'm betting, because he still doesn't have the loot.
Right. Irby B also going to clean out mermaids. He'll find that, or he probably has found that Sun Sword, but he's not going to find anything else. Meanwhile, we have Dark Moon versus Tia.
Herbie, Bubbles Soda Company salutes you.
Yes. There may not be an incentives. There are reasons to go down the mermaid. Right, swing from the Knight. Good damage to Tia, but she is still up. Tempering the fighter, I should say, not Knight. He swings for pretty decent damage here. Of course, she has that dragon against Tia. That's going to do really good damage, and Tia is down.
Yep, that puts Dark Moon in orb mode at least. I think he would want to promote, but honestly, he could go without promoting. The scaling on this is 70 to 150, so it's not a hard necessity to do so.
Yep, and a lot of the great spells are, low enough level you don't need to worry about promotion. I mean, you get, like, the dragon armor and the Aegis, but, that's pretty much it. And that doesn't even matter if you don't have a Knight. I mean, he does, but...
Yeah, and Darkmoon did pick up the loot when he was in Elfland earlier, so he is actually in legit go mode.
Shanigan, thank you for carbonating Bubbles. This has been a great seed for Bubbles carbonation.
Yep, at 37, 38, we are 36. We've got Darkmoon into Topher.
Meanwhile, Irby B making his way through C now is probably going to try to take down Kraken if he can get away from these seafood. And then there are the ghosts.
Ghosts.
Davian picks up his ruby from the Elf King. Going to go check out Astos' class. I'm not sure if we've seen this yet.
I remember somebody checking it. It wasn't anything of note. I don't remember they checked the spike tiles, though.
And Thavian doesn't check the spike tiles either, which, seeing everyone's levels, but, Topher, you don't need a ton of levels with the scaling, but you do need enough.
Yeah, Darkmoon going in at 21-ish. Going to be a little bit risky for some things. His mages are going to be a little on the soft side, but it's possible.
I mean, his knight is enough to tank any nuke. Of course.
Well, at least one nuke.
Yeah. Any single nuke, let's put it that way. At full HP.
Lich coming up from Fire 3, doing some big damage to, to Darkmoon's Thief. Knight swinging, doing some good damage with that Masa. Thief swinging, going, I'm helping.
Yeah. And of course, the Masa swing came out before Fast, but Witch 2 is down, and Dark Moon is on the carries floor, and Shenanigans searching far and wide for that loot.
Yeah, this is one reason why I, generally will keep some kind of a tracker around or even a scratch pad to make sure that it's like, hey, did I get the vendor item or did I get this item out of here? Oh, God.
Yeah, as a casual player, I can say, of course, since I'm not racing, it's never cost me a race, but as a casual player, I can say that I've been lost and frustrated a few times. Meanwhile, Dark Moon is through carry 2. Now approaching the first real potential gatekeeper of Topher, and that's going to be Kraken 2.
Yeah, and I did not notice if Dark Moon has life on his page or not. So we'll see whether Kraken 2 decides to buy him first round or not. If Kraken 2 doesn't buy them first round, we know there's no life.
Yep. And another check of Astos' closet, and no check of the spikes. And again, we know where the Agamas are. We know where red and blue Ds are. I think we've seen the eyes, but it's a better single character grind by far.
Yeah, and honestly, with the scaling, a walking grind in Sky is probably going to be a better grind than a static grind.
Yes.
At least for, full classes, or for full groups.
Kirby BSO is around level 17, so it's, walking grind in Sky gave him a few levels, that'll get him, if not good enough for close to it, and taking down Kraken, Nuke, melee, Nuke, and Arm 4, Nuke goes out. Kraken 1's down, meanwhile Kraken 2.
I'm guessing Shenanigan checking all these chests again.
Oh, hurts to see, but happens to everyone.
Memory holes happen. Or in my case, it's, got a mind like a steel trap. Go in, get mangled, don't come out properly.
And with the white shirt and Invis 2s, I was going to say, well, there's enough evasion for the Thief, not quite so much for poor Danny the Black Mage, but Kraken 2 is down. Now the question is, does Dark Moon have life? Dark Moon's asking himself the same question. He does.
Right. We have a full party for Dark Moon beyond Kraken 2. We've got the slab for Herbie B, and an X-Cal +5 in the Greejasts for Thavian.
That's a great find, because that'll hit enemies up until Chaos very hard, because it has the elemental bonus versus everything. And we had like a +30 bonus, so I put that on the Knight until Chaos and let someone else wield the Masa.
Yeah, that is the best weapon to use against almost every enemy in the game. I say almost because, Chaos has no weaknesses or no types. There are a few other things as well, but it's not much. Hey, and Shenanigan finally remembering to check the shops and landed at Elfland. Gonna check it out and find the missing loot.
Meanwhile, if Thavian and Dark Moon taking on Tiamat at different times, one 2,000 years earlier than the other.
If you listen closely, you can probably hear Jenny screaming or swearing right now.
Yeah, I think I can, actually. But now Shenanigan's heading into Topher at the 5322 mark. Now Tia has Dark Moon's Thief down. The fighter swings with the Masa. 7 hits, 824. Tia's still there. Fire 3. More Invis 2. Is 2. Attack and wait. He hits 912. Goodbye, Tia.
Yep, that is a dead Tiamat.
Thavian kills his Tiamat 2,000 years later, and is now just needs one more orb, and of course, well, he doesn't have the TNT or the tail, but he doesn't need them.
And actually, I think Thavian may have picked up the firework because he does have the crown. I just don't remember him fighting Carrie. Based on the way he's moving, though, I think he had.
Yes, I think he has to. I think I remember him fighting Carrie. So yeah, especially since he's making a beeline towards Topher, it's safe to assume that he has the fire orb. Now, Irby B's making his way towards Guy, and of course, if he goes in off the hard reset like the others, we probably won't see our robot chickens, unfortunately.
Alright, and we have Chaos coming up on Darkmoon's screen real soon. Going with the fighter strats, which makes sense because the fighter has hit points for it. We have White Shirt coming out from the Thief, we got Invis 2 coming out from the White Mage, we've got Defense on the Knight, and we got a Fast coming out onto the Knight. We've got a Lightning 2 coming out from Chaos, doing some annoying damage, but not enough to do anything that's really worrying.
If that Thief is just going to use the White Shirt, that White Mage is going to cast the Invis 2, maybe do some healing.
Yeah, and at this point, with the 1 defense cast, and the what will be 4 Invis 2 cast, that's going to have the Knight at evade cap. That's also going to have the Thief at evade cap. So, you know, the Ablative Meat shields up front can potentially dodge some stuff. And we've got the Knight starting up to power bonks. Meanwhile, we got Chanigan pulling on up to the seafloor and making his way on through.
And Davian is in Topher taking on some metal slimes, going to try to take them down and get some of that juicy experience.
Alright, we gotta swing out of the Knight, or out of the fighter, 7 hits, 846 damage. Another hit, swing, 6 hits, 595. Chaos has between, you know, let's see, 75 to 150, so between 1,500 to 3,000 hit points, and down goes Chaos. Get your GGs out in chat for Darkmoon EX, finishing up first on stream with the official race time of 55:58.
Alright, GG Darkmoon.
And we have had some other some other people finish up who were not on stream. We got Deadpool's finishing up first with a 45:39, followed by Ale Markin with a 47:11, and Pickles and Beer a 50:46. Oh, Chanigan is getting done dirty by Kraken, and Chanigan has gone, yeah, no, I'm out.
Yeah, GG Chanigan. Cannot blame anyone, especially when Kraken Dude does such Kraken 2 things. No White Mage, and he didn't even care.
Yeah, I think that's Kraken 2 doing some, well, nasty Kraken 2 things, period.
Right, Rock goals with Blaze. I don't recall that earlier. That's not very pleasant.
Hello,
Alright, we are joined in the booth by Darkmoon. GG Darkmoon.
Hey, can you hear me? Oh, there we go. Cool. Hey.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yay.
Yeah, so that was a pretty good one for you, it seemed like.
Yeah.
It's much better than I went for Chanigan. Unfortunately, Chanigan memory hold the shop item, which I am not gonna lie, it hurt to see.
No, and you know what? I understand that happening. There's a reason why I made a point of I didn't buy Cure 3 when I first saw it. I'm like, maybe I'll get the money in like March Cave to be able to buy the loot, because I knew I was like 4,000 or so off from it. And there wasn't money for it in March Cave, so it was fine. But I kept remembering, like, loot's here. Can't forget it. Swinging back by Elfland again. Let's go buy the loot, because I would fully do what Chanigan would do. I would just memory hole it and be like, oh, I guess no loot then.
Yeah, and whilst Chanigan hasn't decided to join us in the booth, he has joined us in chat, and he's mentioning that he memory hold the shop item in Elfland. He normally has a route that he goes through when he goes to towns, and he didn't do it in Elfland. He got distracted by the hint giver.
Ah, yeah. Oop, I'm sorry, I killed my stream, and now it's duplicating someone else. My bad.
Duplicating Fabian, who just got through Carry 2.
So yeah, no, that was a decent one. Having the Thief with lockpicking, that was basically the only reason why I finished when I did, because, you know, didn't have to go searching for wherever the key was. I don't know if it was the loose. I don't even know what the loose was for the second loose. I was just like, I'm good enough. Let's just go.
Second loose was the TNT in Cardia Forest, which led to the tail.
Okay.
The key is on Sky 3.
Yeah, I didn't bother. Once I decided to go to Sky, I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm just gonna go finish now.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I
The
went
one
and
thing that,
oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
oh no, I was going to say the one thing that could have come out of looting Sky 3,
Mm-hmm.
which would have required promotion, XCal +5.
Yeah, I had Mazda. I didn't care. Like that.
Kind of figured.
I got the Powerblock. I got the Mazda. I was already debating whether or not to go mode without promo. Especially once I hit that dwarf treasury. That the dwarf treasury with all the really good armor I couldn't use was nice, but the flame armor +4 was like, well, that's go mode right there, armor wise. Plus, it gave me an iron shield +4. I'm like, well, that's good enough with a ribbon. I don't care. It's like just balancing how much I actually needed, and then I was still debating, so I went to Waterfall before I went to see. I'm like, okay, what's here? If it's promo, I'll go promo. If it's something else, I can really think about it. And when it turned out to be the defense sword as the item in Waterfall, I was just like, oh, well, I guess I have defense. I guess I don't have to worry about getting hit. So I just decided to go mode at that point and just finish the seed.
Yeah, I was mentioning that because in the same area that the TNT was at, there was a ruse stick.
Oh yeah. See, so that would have been nice too. I might not have turned in the TNT if I'd gotten the ruse stick. I might have just been like, no, this is good enough. If it had been any other piece of gear that I wanted, but wasn't really that essential in Waterfall, I would have reset out of it. But the defense sword was just slightly too good to reset out of it.
Yeah, no, defense sword is one of those things that, I mean, yeah, the scaling's not too high, but it's real nice to see.
Yep. Yeah. Meanwhile, Irby B has taken down Tia, led his Earth Orb, and Fabian is about to take on Tia 2.
Looking good.
Yeah, it looks like Irby's probably heading back to pick up some pro rings and some silver Cheerios.
So it was a decent run for me. I guess I just didn't route fast enough for the other guys.
It's a fair cop. I know a lot of people are out of practice, myself included.
I felt like I routed and menued fast for myself, but I'm just slow in comparison to like I was sitting there when I was going into Sea Shrine, and I'm like, okay, Deadpool should finish any time now. It's at the 45-minute mark. I'm like, well, this scene's been really easy. There's no way he isn't done soon. And he didn't finish until I was nearly done with Sky, and I'm like, well, I'm keeping up okay, I guess. But yeah, no, when that happened, I'm like, yeah, that's about right. He finished, and then Ale finished, and Pickles finished, and all right before I got to Topher, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, that feels about right.
Meanwhile, we do have our 5th place finisher off screen, DM Stewart 1981, finishing with official time of 1 hour, 1 minute, 8 seconds. And Fabian Hawk is through Tiamat 2 and is ready to take on Chaos, or once he gets away from any of the encounters afterwards.
GG's, everyone. Nicely done.
Yeah, at least the encounters we ran into weren't unrunnable worms with Nuke.
Mm-hmm. Were they?
I'm not bitter about that. No.
Every time I'd get ambushed, or every time someone would unleash a skill, I'm like, okay, please get away, please get away, please get away, please get away. Because I'm level 21 going into this. I'm sitting there going, I'm on the razor's edge, even with low scaling, because one bad spell is gonna toss me out of the dungeon.
Yeah, it seems like the Fiends were not too radioactive tonight, though. I don't think we've seen a nuke out of any of them.
I didn't.
No, we have.
No.
Of course, commentator cursed something bad could happen to poor Thaven against Chaos. I guess we'll find out.
Possible.
Well, we know that Chaos is, at least the first couple of spells are lightning 2, and then I think there was a fire 3, but he was slinging some low tier spells.
In about an hour, 3 minutes, 25 seconds, Irby B's now in the Topher.
Oh, I see. Fabian is doing it rused up thief up front to just not get hit at all.
Yeah, the dodge tank, and letting the fighter just get real big and get some stacks of evade from Invis.
It's a strategy. I don't know. I like just making sure that whoever's swinging is safe, and then I don't have to think about them.
True facts.
Yeah. Anyway, the stadium's about to finish, I'm sure. Unless you guys have any other questions for me, I'll bounce out and let the Ducks take the stage.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yep,
clear for you. Feel free to bounce at whatever you want, man.
Cool. Yeah.
yep. And
You
thanks
guys
for
have
joining us.
yourself. Thanks. Yeah, you guys have yourself a good evening. That was a fun one.
And
And get your
meanwhile,
GG's out.
yep, Fabian finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, 17 seconds.
GG's.
All right, we'll see if Fabian wants to join us in the booth here. And there he is. GG, Fabian.
GG all, thank you.
Yeah, pretty well run race for you.
For getting
were-
heal pots going to Toph really made me feel bad.
We call that, you fizzle beefed yourself. Or fizzled yourself.
I mean, my indecisiveness on where to go at some points, but that really was like that. Oh, great. Oh, I remember. I got heal 2 on my red mage. Thank you. No.
Yeah,
It was a
sometimes
race.
just remember those little things can be real nice all of a sudden. Like, wait a minute, I don't have to deal with this.
Of course, speaking of Fizzle, I do have to point this out. I believe Dark Moon named his white mage Fizzle, and of course, Fizzle is known to not be a fan of white mages. I just found that kind of amusing.
And I forgot to mention that when we actually had Dark Moon in the booth. Yeah. Also, I do have to say, though, for Chanigan and Fabian, and, well, Irby when he gets in as well, the Bubble Soda Company thanks you for your service.
Yes, indeed.
I admit I should probably check Cardia. Oh wait, forget it. I'm just gonna go back and full clear C and pop me some bubbles.
Yeah, what you missed in Cardia was, let me see, in Cardia Forest there was a loose TNT, which like the tail, and there was Ruse Stick. Other than that, there wasn't too much in the Cardias. And honestly, you didn't even need the promotion. Would have been nice for that Excal you found, but not necessary.
Yeah, finding the Katana -1 and picking up the Excal in Sky is like, yeah, no. I've got a defense sword, I've got an ice that rolled up, a dragon that rolled up, the Masa. I think I'm okay. Not having a lot of good armor, though. It was nice, the Aegis shield on the White Mage. Glitch.
Oh yeah, I forgot the White Mage had equipped shield, so yeah, she actually was able to get some defense, surprisingly.
Made clearing
Although,
C worth.
I don't know if Irby B's white mage had a shield, but it did not help her against Kraken 2.
No, that's because
Surprise,
Kraken goes,
surprise.
oh look, life cast.
I believe that's a coral sword. That's going to do some decent damage against Kraken. Kraken does some decent damage against the knight. Or the fighter, I should say. And the scale isn't too high, but boy, Kraken can hit pretty hard, as we're seeing by Irby B, but the thief gets him through. Does his red mage have life, is the question.
He does not. So it's just going to be shotgun heal pots and, hope you can get through without getting bodied. I believe he's got the white shard. I think he went in and looted the dwarven treasury, so he's at least got some possible evasion. And of course, we know he has the defense sword.
Yeah, but of course, sure, one thing he'll do also the practice. You see mentioned often, but the menuing with the heal pots, that can be pretty, in a race, that can be pretty key.
Yeah, and getting to that third spot to heal, it's the worst.
It is. I remember probably myself as far back as 1990s, how fast I could heal up, especially getting beat up going through Sky or something. And Vanilla was slow enough as it is without having to take time with heal pot. Tia 2 hits Herb pretty hard there.
Yeah, thankfully enough, Herbie B does have Clear 3 on that oh boy. Well,
Too late. Well,
the ninja, or the thief, whatever.
If the thief was using that dragon sword or even the red mage, that would be better chances right now. You've got Brack Irby B, 18 to 56. It happens.
And he forfeited, understandably.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Makes sense given that you're in this situation. Still, get your GGs out in chat for Herbie for getting this far as he did.
Yes.
I know one of the
Well
newer
deserved.
ducklings, so the fact that he was willing to jump on Restream again, that's a big bonus for him. We're gonna see if he wants to jump on in and chat with us or not. But in the meantime, Fabian, as somebody who is, well, you've done a lot of booth work, and I highly appreciate that because you helped out a huge amount in the winter tournament. But what do you think of Duckling program so far?
Being able to play the variety of seeds definitely helps, and just the pressure of playing competitively it's a little different. It's not a bad thing. Having that mental, like, if I was doing comms over my own race, it's weird, but hey, self-criticism.
I have that same thought anytime I'm playing as well.
Even I, as a casual player, will go back and criticize myself. So we're joined in the chat by Irby B. GG, Irby, you're muted. Oh, there we go.
Hey, yeah, thanks. That was a little rough, but thanks for the GGs.
Honestly, I mean, if Fred hadn't been as rude, he was still on track to come in at under an hour 10 or under an hour and 15, which is not bad. These flag sets, they're. I know you're newer to the community, and I know you're one of the newer ducklings, and so I mean, you don't look down at the time you were putting in. I would advise going back and just watching the VOD of this so you can see what was going on with the other racers. Just because I know that'll help you out as well as what I did and help me out a bit.
Oh, thanks. I'll definitely need to do that. I mean, looking back at it, I was just, I'm like, oh, why did I go there? And then, I was like thinking of loose, and then I was just, I don't know. I just, I definitely could have routed that differently. I'll definitely look it back over.
Yeah, also get things down, just like doing things quicker, menuing quicker. Some of the small things that you've heard others talk about the past. I mean, I'm not a racer myself, but even I go back and look at, playthroughs I've recorded, and it's like, oh, I could have done this better and that better. That better. I mean, you're going to be your own worst critic, but you're also going to be your only best teacher.
Yeah, pretty much. And one thing I would also advise, if you haven't already, though I think you specifically you've already had a VOD review done by Deadpulse. Deadpulse is the recent champion of the winter tournament, and obviously is the one who came in first on this race overall. But for anybody who is new to the community, he is more than willing to help out. He's willing to do VOD reviews as long as it's not for like a tournament flag set. And it is amazingly helpful.
No, I'm definitely going to take advantage of those. I know the one I've done so far was, I reran the same run that the review was done on, and I took, like 5 or 6 minutes off just from the one review. So I definitely want to do more of those.
Also, I have to ask you the same question. What do you think of the Duckling program so far?
What do I think of the what?
The Duckling program so far.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I mean, I've been in it for probably about 5 months, maybe close to 6 months now, and I've been trying to do most weeklies. Right? It's been really. I mean, the community's been great. Just the program, the boot camp is really just informative, and you're getting a chance to do a couple races per week, right? And trying to do some pickup races here, right? It's really, it's just a great community, and I feel like I've been learning a whole lot, right? Although tonight may have been a little different, it may not have been so competitive, but I feel like I've been improving each week.
Well, that's the big key. You've been improving each week, and you're just going to get better and better. Especially, we've had a lot of former ducklings who are really strong racers and have really picked at the veterans.
It was interesting racing and all seeing 3 finishers really close together. It's like, am I that far behind? And then I saw the names and went, no, I'm not that far behind.
Yeah, they're the people who were the first 3 finishers. They're all really, really competitive players. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a way that it's just, they're real good.
Respect.
Finish or wrap up as close to them as you did, I think is a pretty good accomplishment, especially, being as new as you are. Grain of salt from coming from a casual player is better than I could do if I tried to race.
There were a few clinch moments that definitely can look back and how we could deal with it better, but that's the whole point of this, is being able to review how it happens.
No, I agree. I think that's the one thing, right? Is not being too proud to look back at yourself and understand where, look back at the races and, really been trying to stream more, right? Even from practicing, just do some practice and try to stream and try to look back at it. Just for myself, but then obviously also take advantage of the reviews too, because there's always time to be saved.
I'm definitely going to go back and watch back, and I want to see how fast everyone got into the air, because I felt like I was on really good pace early.
I ended up trying to go super early into Ice and Volcano. It did not work out for me, so I think I was probably a bit later getting into the air than most, but...
Yeah, no early warp or exit made early Ice just feel like a trap, so...
Yeah. I was trying to maybe do something a little different, maybe got a little too cute with it, maybe could have stuck with a more traditional progression there, but I tried it. I thought that if it would work, right, that it would kind of get me a step up, but ended up just getting, dropping out. I think I dropped out of Volcano twice, and then I just gave up on it, and then figured to go over where everyone else probably was.
Yeah, by the time I made it back around Volcano, I was just on, like, kill the fiends, find the item, go to the last dungeon, and go.
I mean, sometimes those bold plays can really work out, though. So, I also thought it was pretty good. You didn't keep on banging your head against Volcano. You decided, okay, I don't have the levels. I'm just going to leave and come back later. And that's a tough decision to make. But I think in your case, it was the right one.
I needed to be careful when I went back, though, because I went back, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to, I took down the Fiend, and I got the Fiend, and I said, oh, wait, I've got to go get that incentive item up. So I killed the Fiend, then got the incentive, then went back. Right? That would have been bad to leave without getting the item there.
Very, given what it was.
I believe it was the crown. It was the crown, so I'm trying to think where that ended up routing to, but...
Crown led to the or to the ruby, which led to the slab, which led to the chime.
Okay, so it was needed for sure.
Yeah, the moment I got the cube and I checked the hint giver and knew where the rod or the chime was, so I was able to just figure out where I had to go eventually. And when I found the ruby, I was like, okay, I'm in go mode unless the key shows up somehow. And the key was just loose and nowhere to be found. Or where was the key, out of curiosity? Because I don't think it was loose.
Hint said it was somewhere on Sky 3.
Ah. Yeah, I just said no to Sky. I was already in go mode at that point.
The joys of the flop picking is you didn't need the key. In fact, I don't think anyone picked it up. Everyone was just going through Sky and only picked up maybe the greed chest, which I think one person did CC's Gambit, but I picked up the greed chest, which of course had the XCal plus 5 that no one could use, but people just faded Sky.
Which can be scary if you have Sky random, right? That can be kind of scary if you've got to find something there. But yeah, fortunately wasn't needed with a thief.
If you had warp, it would have been a little less hazardous, especially on the Sky 3, where you can go to the 6-pack and warp back. But if it was on Sky 2, it's just too much walking for the chests that are there.
Yeah, I didn't actually end up seeing where. Well, I know warp wasn't learnable by my red mage, but then I didn't see where exit was. Was that 8?
Didn't check either. The moment I got fast temper and nuke, I didn't bother checking black magic more or less.
Okay.
And white magic, I got life eventually. I was like, okay, I'm good. That and a Miz too.
Was at level 8 white, along with life 2, incidentally.
Oh, okay.
And also, speaking on behalf of Bubbles Soda Company, we do approve of the carbonation of bubbles we saw.
Yes, the carbonation of bubbles is very much appreciated.
I forgot to put the kill flag on the dwarf, so I just had to make sure I did bubbles.
Oh, ouch. I've done that a few times. It's like, oh no, I'm not going to talk to him now. I just can't bear to, leave him in his one-word misery. What would hate say?
Yeah, I am a big fan of just, oh, look, you found the dwarf. Free him from his suffering. Kill him.
I also forgot to throw the Vorpal off the bridge. I had it, it rolled down, it needed to be dropped, but I forgot.
That's a fair cop. I mean, the Vorpal -2, it's easy to just forget about it existing.
Even as someone who likes the Vorpal because he likes playing seeds with high scaling where it's crit or forget, I would not have used that Vorpal either.
I would have rather have chased the tail down to equip the X-Cal and the Katana, but I mean, you had the Masa already, and the defense sword, the ice, the dragon, all the early weapons that we picked up were just worth using.
All right. Well, with that, I'm pretty much out of questions. You got anything else?
I'm out of questions as well, so maybe we move on to final thoughts here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and kick on over to final thoughts. Fabian, let's start her off with you.
It's kind of weird. I've never done final thoughts where I'm the one who's actually talking.
Yeah, it can be a little strange sometimes being on the other side of the booth.
Yeah, well, all things considered, the seed was interesting. It was really similar to a seed from a tournament previously. When I first started getting into the randomizer, I went back and watched all the previous tournaments, and this was too loose. The early play into Matoya was because I was like, well, Matoya sometimes has the loose, and there was the cube. But yeah, that experience of those seeds I ran played into this a little, and it was interesting. Also, trying the hints that actually allowed me to okay, I know where the key to the sky was. It's like learning how to take advantage of what's there. It was a good run altogether.
All right, and Herbie.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good race, right? Would have liked to get the final finish there, but certainly a fun race. Appreciate all the support from everybody in chat even afterwards, and yeah, just having fun racing. So looking forward to next week.
All right. Well, Classic, why don't you go ahead and take us on home, and after that, we're gonna raid on over to Nest Cardinality because he's also running an FFR seed. He does some fun stuff there.
It's just, of course, like to thank my co-coms, the 13th, our tracker, Flower Power, Soft Numb, also, excuse me, Flower Power, our restreamer, Soft Numb, our tracker, with Kate's, and of course, all the runners, and of course, the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel for having us. So, and of course, you ducks are especially well thanked, and you guys have got a great future racing ahead of you. And for everyone, this is Classic Gamer 76 signing out.
Thank you.